What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that's how it's going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Caroline Leavitt scolds the fake news to their face for refusing to talk about 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman, who was on a live by Venezuelan illegal. Yes, it's definitely sad. ABC News talked about, Sheridan Gorman for a minute and 19 seconds. CBS talked about her for 2 minutes and 1 second. NBC, 23 seconds. It's definitely 23 seconds? That's crazy. Definitely crazy. It's honestly sad. The simple fact that people protest might as well for this Venezuela legal, but don't say anything about this 18-year-old that was just now starting a life. Pretty wild. And the crazy thing is, not even to mention, y'all, that when you watch the news, they don't even really be talking about nothing. And you actually have things that you need to talk about. They have things they need to talk about, and they don't. Sad.
And to prevent deaths of Americans in our country. Just last week, Sheridan Gorman, a young woman in Chicago, was shot and killed on the street walking with her friends outside of her university by a illegal alien from Venezuela who had no right to be here in the first place. And it's despicable that Democrats are currently defunding the department that's responsible for removing illegal aliens like that. And I would also add it's despicable that the lack of coverage of this young woman's case, of her life, and the way that it was tragically cut short. I saw a survey over the weekend that I'd like to bring to all of your attention. This is the media coverage of the case of Sheridan Gorman. You have ABC News has spent 1 minute and 19 seconds between 2 days when this case was first alerted. You have CBS, 2 minutes and 1 second. You have NBC, 23 seconds spent on the life of a young, beautiful American woman whose life was taken short by an illegal alien who should have never been here in the first place, when we are in the middle of a battle on Capitol Hill with a major political party, the Democrat Party, who wants to defund the agency that is responsible for protecting Americans. I think her life was worth more than 23 seconds on cable television, and I think the people in this room have a responsibility to report on cases like this, because it just exemplifies why the president believes so strongly in deporting illegal aliens from America.
Let me tell y'all something. It gets worse. It definitely gets worse when it comes down to it. I don't know what it is. I feel like this makes me so mad when this happens. I don't know what's been going down with X, y'all. I promise y'all I cannot tell y'all what's been going down with X. But I literally put a link up, right? I put a link up. And this was supposed to be a totally different link. I don't know what's been going on. A totally different link. I promise y'all. I don't know what's been going on with everything. I've been doing everything I need to do. All of that. And stuff pops up like this. That link that I just showed y'all, not the Caroline Leavitt, but after that, that was not supposed to be there. It's wild, right? I don't know what's been going on with X, but they figured it out. Calls are beginning to come in for the mayor of Chicago. I don't know what you put major. Mayor of Chicago to resign, after the statements that, this individual has made. It's truly sickening of what he's doing. It's very sickening, actually, of what he's doing. And I truly don't understand it. Check this out.
Did you reconsider rescheduling this event given the Sheridan Gorman by an undocumented immigrant?
Well, look, as I've said before, my condolences to the family of Sheridan. This is a terrible tragedy. And what I've said from the very beginning, I'm going to continue to use every single tool that's available to me to protect the residents of the city of Chicago. And this tragedy is not going to deter us from our work. In fact, it's going to challenge us all to double down on our efforts to ensure that we are protecting every single individual across neighborhoods. And look,
did you reconsider rescheduling this event given the
Y'all think that was something? Like, y'all truly think there was something? The things that comes about to where you can't even really acknowledge, you can't, apologize, to where you're really looking like you're more so appraising. And I think that's the clip. I think I know what clip I need to throw in here. It's literally a very quick clip that I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna probably try to find it after this video. But it's very sickening on what he said, and how he said it. But you literally sit there praising and supporting illegal aliens. And I truly have a problem with that. I truly have a problem with that when you have individuals that are doing this to innocent people. I mean, come on now.
Mayor Johnson, who is the worst mayor in the history of Chicago, going all the way back to he stands there, and an illegal alien who had been let out, had not been deported, had tuberculosis, and may or may not have been out somebody so he could join the Trend gang, shoots and kills this innocent girl who runs. He shoots her in the back. So it's got all of the classic symptoms of a cowardly, despicable act. And he can't even talk about it very much. And then he says, and we're not going to let this affect our concern for every, he said all illegal. Does this mean all the criminals that just happened? And then he's speaking with a garbage truck that has abolish ICE on it. He's the mayor. He's a complete buffoon. And he's just had this huge riot. It's all over the internet and it's on news where dozens, if not hundreds, of black teenage youths have gone through the $1 Million Mile and just swarmed things and beat people up and looted uncontrolled. And you think, given that and the every weekend, that he would say there is a crime problem among black youth and we're going to address it. And he's not. He's just all he can do is blame white people and call people racist, while the city goes.
And the crazy thing is, he's just not talking. I don't want nobody in my comments talking about, he's just saying this and that, because I'm going to show y'all the clips where he's literally just doing it.
I'm really worried about Chicago. It was, Carl Sandburg's Chicago was the second biggest place in the country. It's going the way of L.A. We're going to lose two big cities, Los Angeles and Chicago, in the sense that their downtown area is going to be uninhabitable. And unless you get rid of this paradigm of a blue DEI mayor, pandering to DEI constituents, promising them more stuff and more stuff.
I'm going to show y'all the clips. Y'all think I'm playing games. It's definitely sickening on what he's doing. You got, this is, Alex says, my blood is still boiling over this. Loyola student, if I'm probably saying that wrong. Student paper, apologized for truthfully calling Sheridan Gordon's unaliver an illegal immigrant. Same day, Mayor Johnson unveiled Chicago's snowplow named Abolish ICE. I'm telling y'all. Says, God bless Jessica and Thomas Gorman. Their anger must be beyond words. And I'm going to show y'all them as well. I'm pretty sure I got a clip, But check this out.
We deeply regret calling the illegal immigrant an illegal immigrant. This is what's happened in our world. This guy, Sheridan Gorman, in cold blood, he's here illegally. He is an illegal immigrant. And the paper puts out a correction apologizing for calling him an illegal immigrant. Now, if that wasn't bad enough that her family had to read that, it gets even worse. Because Brandon Johnson, the disgraced mayor of Chicago, held a contest to name their snowplow, a new snowplow for the city of Chicago. And can you guess what it was? Here it comes rolling in. Abolish ICE. That's what we're going to name our fun snowplow. Abolish ICE. Imagine that you're watching the mayor of the city where your daughter was killed, and she was killed because an illegal immigrant that wasn't allowed to be deported because they blocked ICE, they're celebrating abolishing the very organization, the very agency that could have prevented your daughter from being. They're praising it. They're praising abolishing it. They're celebrating it. Yes, abolish ICE. The very people that could have prevented and could have taken this guy out of the country and prevented your daughter or your sister or your nieces. And they're laughing about it. They're celebrating it. They're naming snowplows after it.
It's sickening. I ain't even gonna lie. Thinking about that, it's truly sickening. People that are definitely, like you said, could have prevented it. Definitely could have prevented it. And you're literally sitting there and taking up, for, again, this individual that did this. That's basically what he's doing. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely sickening on what he's doing. Says Tom Homan, literally, fires back at Chicago Mayor Brandon, not literally YouTube, Mayor Brandon Johnson doubling down against ICE after, illegal alien unalived his own citizen, Sheridan Gorman. Check it out.
Legacy of standing up for justice, dignity, and the rights of all people, no matter where they come from. I want to take this moment to reiterate that Chicago does not want ICE on our streets, in our airports, nor in our city. Chicago believes in abolishing ICE. This tragedy is not going to deter us from our work. In fact, it's going to challenge us all to double down on our efforts.
How can you double down? An 18-year-old girl was killed.
Wow.
Let's just say the protection of all citizens. I've met with hundreds of angel moms and dads who bury their children that should be alive today because their children were killed by illegal alien. It's disgusting to even mention the words abolishing ICE. ICE, like I say, since President Trump's been in the Oval Office, over 800,000 deportations. We're averaging between 60 and 70% of those who arrest criminals. So think about it. We have deported hundreds of thousands of public safety threats from this country, including the streets of Chicago. We have made Chicago much safer, and we need to keep going back to Chicago. Look, President Trump has made a promise to American people, make the country safe again. We're going to do it. I know DOJs, they got lawsuits against sanctuary cities. We got to pray those lawsuits are ended in our benefit and finally hold these lawless sanctuary cities accountable, because you know what? The men and women of those cities, they love ICE in their cities. Yep. We're making the city safe again. And you can attack ICE all you want, but these men and women are putting a gun on their hip and a Kevlar vest on every day to serve this nation. And I would think Mayor Johnson would say, thank you, ICE, because you made Chicago safer for the thousands of public safety threats we took off his street that they released back in the community. We arrested them. We deport them. You're welcome.
There you have it. Speaking real. You got here, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and this is when it comes about, when I showed y'all that first clip of, want to make sure I say his name right, Victor Davis. I'm pretty sure that's who that is. I apologize if that's wrong, but I'm pretty sure Victor Davis Hanson. When he said this, he literally says Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson called white people colonizers. It said black people deserve reparations. When I tell y'all this is truly who all, he cares about, it's true, and it's sad. It's sad enough. It's definitely sad enough. Like, you literally, I truly don't get it. Like, thinking about it, like, I truly don't get how cruel and nasty individual can be when it comes down to this. I'm telling y'all, he's a clown.
The last I checked, we are not in competition with other people of color across this globe. The only people who want us to believe that we are in competition with one another are the same colonizers that pit us against one another. Why would I take the word of someone who hates us all to drive us apart? What sense does that make? And so I believe we can call for black liberation and reparations and not cause harm in this globe the way white supremacy has caused across this planet. And anybody that would fall victim to that type of ideology, well, then maybe you need a little healing yourself.
I almost called this man out his name. I can't even finish this video because people like this, you get secondhand embarrassment. You get secondhand embarrassment. And I truly can say and talk about Mayor Brandon Johnson, but not only am I talking about Mayor Brandon Johnson, but the people that supporting this moron. I'm telling y'all, very sickening. Very, very sickening. He literally says out of his own mouth, we cannot put people in jail anymore as racist. Like, come on.
We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down.
I don't know who's worse, Mayor Brandon Johnson or Zohran Mamdani. I'll tell you that. I tell you that. This former Biden official, I don't want to mess her name up at all, but this is literally her speaking. You know, pretty sure still a Democrat speaking on Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Are these Chicago and Illinois leaders out of touch on this one, Yemisi?
Yemisi, see, I would have said that.
Yeah, I think that the governor's office, J.B. Pritzker, did a great job with his statement, calling it senseless outright and hoping that the accused goes to jail. I do think the tone, however, shifts when he brings it up in the political context. I think you can address the grievances of the family without trying to appease the wider base that is worried about all immigrants being painted in a certain light. I think this should have just stayed directly on the grieving family and the tragic that happened. And look, I think the mayor of Chicago, he has done a pretty terrible job of trying to address this in a way that is sympathetic to this family. So I do think there has to be a bit of a balance here.
Are these Chicago and Illinois leaders out of...
Definitely crazy to have somebody, and this is the, a crowd. Okay. So this is the clip that I wanted to show y'all. But going back to this, you literally have a lot of individuals, a lot of other, a lot of Democrats, that is calling this out, and saying, and this is all but more the reason. And I'm not saying, I don't ever tell anybody who to vote for, to be a Democrat, to Republican. I don't ever put that more so on nobody. What I truly do, though, is to give people those facts, give people, the real when it comes down to it, because it's definitely important to do that so people know, how people truly are. You have so many. Look, just look at Brandon Johnson, and it's others, other mayors, governors, people in that truly don't make a lot of sense. Don't care about Americans. You literally have Brandon Johnson, even though, you have U.S. citizens, obviously, all different races, only caring about black people. Come on, bro. Like, make it make sense. A lot of it's sickening. Pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, and this post literally says here, this is Sheridan's parents, I believe, but it says Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson didn't have anything to say about Sheridan Gorman Saturday, but her mom, dad, and sister did. If y'all want to check this out, please do.
Dressed in green and white Yorktown colors to honor Sheridan Gorman's fierce love for her hometown, where she was an athlete and leader.
This loss is truly unbearable.
That love being returned to Sheridan's family, her mom, dad, and sister fighting through emotion on stage.
I should be planning her wedding, her college graduation, her bachelorette party, arguing with her about dresses, not standing here trying to figure out how to say goodbye to my baby sister.
Come on,
Sheridan, she was our joy, our collective joy. And now that joy is gone.
Her family also describing Sheridan as everyone's cheerleader.
She knew something that all of us could stand to remember. That enthusiasm, that positive thinking, that showing up for each other. It doesn't just win games, it changes lives.
Sheridan was starting to build the next chapter of her life as a freshman at Loyola University, Chicago.
She was just 18, enjoying her college life.
According to Chicago police, Sheridan was with friends along Lake Michigan shoreline just off campus around 1 a.m. March 19th, when they were suddenly confronted by a man in a mask who opened fire, college student.
It hurts me to see that this poor family has to go through this, and that some people are saying she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she was actually with friends doing the right thing. She was a good girl.
The 25-year-old man charged with, according to the...
But even if, just because you had a different individual, sit there, and I forgot the video literally of somebody saying, she, they were probably out there goofing around. They probably was out there. Bro, so what, bro? They're at the end of the day, they're young. I ain't gonna say kids, she 18. They're young adults in college. He had no right doing what he did. And Mayor Brandon Johnson, I'm telling y'all right now, dude need to resign. And I say that because you literally have somebody that's in, like, come on now. Come on now. Like, make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. You got somebody. And you're not even speaking. You're not apologizing. You're not saying nothing. And y'all praising him? That's sickening to me.
Department of Homeland Security is an undocumented immigrant from Venezuela.
Something has to be better in the understanding that lives like Sheridan's, full of promise, full of possibility, deserve to be protected.
That call made as the sun set, along with the promise to always look to the light, even when the darkness feels like too much.
A life that touched so many hearts, far too briefly, far too bright.
Sheridan's family also extending gratitude not only to the hometown community here, but also the community at Loyola University for surrounding them with love and compassion during this difficult time. Reporting in Yorktown Heights, I'm Angelo Bavaro, Pix 11 News.
It's definitely sickening, man. And it's definitely sad. You know, sending my love and condolences, you know, to her family. You know, to Sheridan Gorman, to her mom, to her dad, you know, and to her sister. It's definitely pretty sad. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Says why 18-year-old Loyola freshman Sheridan Gorman was being laid to rest Saturday. This is what Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson was doing. Johnson said, "Here in the city of Chicago, we believe in protecting every single person in this city," and obviously didn't apply that, you know, whatsoever. You know, speaking on the No Kings and all of that. Didn't say anything, you know. And that truly, you know, frustrates me. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely frustrates me. I got 2 daughters of my own, and I don't really know what I would do. Especially when you're having a mayor that's not doing shit but praising this individual like it's okay. And praising others. Might as well just praise every other person that has done this to an innocent person. I'm telling y'all. He's a sick person. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.